definitely feeling frustrated and having to stick to yourself, rely on yourself, trust yourself, hold things in. You feel like everyone's coming at you with an angle. No one's ever really friendly to you just because they're being friendly. There's always something, some kind of manipulation that occurs. It's always something. That's how I'm feeling here. There's always something. And you feel stuck because you feel like you've been isolated by other people, and you also feel isolated because you're isolating yourself on purpose, because there's a lot of people around you that make you feel isolated, or they're trying to push you out for whatever selfish reasons. They don't want you around, and you don't want to be around them either. But now you're kind of like hung up on yourself, trying to collect your own inner strength, but you're keeping it to yourself. But lo and behold, a beautiful King of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups comes into play. So, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know the saying, not seeing the forest for the trees, or not seeing the tree for the forest, or something like that, where you're so focused on your inner bubble that you're missing other opportunities around you, or that will come to you in time. You know, when you're feeling frustrated and isolated, and people are trying to push you out, or they're gossiping about you, or they're just, you know, basically lying about you. They don't even know you, and they could be lying about you just because they feel like shit inside. You know, shitty people spread their shit around. Yeah. And once they see someone that's in their own element, they don't like that, because you're a mirror to them. So they like to spread nasty stuff about you. It's like smearing their shit all over the walls, basically, because they're just ugly people inside. And people can socially kill you, in a sense, or try to, at least, by isolating you, by spreading nasty lies about you. Meanwhile, where are they getting this stuff from? They don't even know you, but they're spreading lies about you. It makes no sense, really. But stupid people believe stupid things, you know, and a lot of people are gullible, and they don't know what's right in front of their face, especially a manipulator. You have no control over these types of people, unfortunately. All you have control over is whether or not you surround yourself with them. Sometimes you don't have a choice, and that really sucks, because you're stuck with negative people, but there's always choices. It might not be an easy choice, but there's always choices. Sometimes you do have more of a freedom to just be like, you know what, bye, and you just don't hang around these people anymore. But you feel isolated from it, and you feel alone. You feel lonely, or you feel like no one is here with good intentions. So you're staying to yourself, you're keeping inward, you're trying to gather back your strength, because you're just doing your thing in silence, and you're gathering your strength in silence, and you're healing, and, you know, alone. And there's a lot of aloneness here, but you have to remember that it doesn't last forever, that there might be other people around you, like this King of Pentacles and the Nine, you know, thinking of you in this Nine of Cups kind of fashion, that don't think of you this way, not even close. And they see the real you, and they like it. They think that you're actually, you check all the boxes. So when you're all caught up in the negative energy that's around you currently, you're forgetting to look past that and see that there's other people out there that are nice. There's other people that don't have like ill intent towards you, or they're not trying to manipulate you, or they're not trying to make your life a living hell for no reason, or they're not jealous of you, or whatever this icky, smelly energy is. You might be, it's like when you step in a pile of dog poop. It's gross. And it's gross on many levels, right? And you're just like, ew, get this off my shoe immediately. And you kind of waddle home, and you wash it off, and you're just like, ew, 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 the whole time. And that's kind of how you're feeling about the people around you right now, unfortunately. You feel like you have to keep everything to yourself. You have to be by yourself. You're isolated by these other people trying to backstab you, front stab you, spread rumors about you that aren't true. How could they even know? You have to remember that people that talk about you, you have you just got to remind yourself that these are ugly people themselves, because there's nothing wrong with you. You've never done anything wrong to these people or to anyone else to deserve this kind of maltreatment. But remember that there's a whole world out there. It's not just your neighborhood. It's not just a workplace or a certain friend circle or whatever it is that you're constantly going to. Once you break out of your little shell, you realize that there's a whole bunch of other trees elsewhere. There's a whole bunch of circles of people. There's many people out in this world. And when we feel stuck and abandoned by a certain group, we think that the world is out against us, and it's not always true. Even though our internal world feels like that right now. You just have to remind yourself that there's other people that might look at you in a totally different fashion, like you are the ish. You are literally everything that people would want to be. There are people that look up to you, basically. You might be feeling very bored. There's a lot of this boredom, abandonment, isolation that's going on around you right now. You're bored with the status quo. You're bored with people that are just kind of dumb. They can't think for themselves. They can't see the manipulations that are happening to them. Negative people will feast on naive people because they're so easy to manipulate. And then that's what they call flying monkeys, right? If you know anything about narcissistic personality disorder, they will try to socially, basically kill you socially by spreading rumors about you, lying about you, making up things that it's how can you even make up these things? Where is this coming from, But with narcissists, you have to remember that any kind of blame they give you is actually they're projecting what they are inside, right? If you know that you didn't do anything wrong, or there's no reason to the madness of what people are talking about, you know that there's something going on inside them. So if they call you a hoe, for instance, and you know that you're actually not even close. You might be celibate for all they know. But some narcissist is calling you a hoe, right? That person might very well be a hoe. That's the projection that I'm trying to get at here, is these left field comments about you that come out of nowhere. You just have to remember, instead of taking it personally and trying to defend against the weak-minded, it doesn't matter, because stupid people are going to believe anything anyway. You can't go around trying to prove that lies don't exist, or being like, no, I'm not this, I'm not that. How could you, you get caught up in the web of lies. Don't deal in lies, right? Just stay away from it like the plague, basically. And you're just bored with the status quo of people that just don't think for themselves. They're trendy, they're just like parrots that just squawk and do everything like everyone else does. Oh, everyone's wearing this shirt, I'm gonna wear this shirt. It's kind of like that, kind of energy. They might very well copy you. If you are someone that beats to your own drum, you're authentically you in some kind of fashion, these narcissists will copy you. And then they'll hate you even more when they realize they can't be you. And that's the stupid game that they play. So you got to remember that this is just a mirror on the people that are talking negatively. It's just a projection from their own inside. Not to say that it's not annoying. It's definitely annoying. It's definitely hurtful. And it's just it makes you feel weary. Like you're just like, oh, not again. Like, what is wrong with people? You know? But you got to see, you got to do your own research. And if you're not learning and growing internally, you're going to fall prey to a manipulator or a narcissist eventually. You just are, because you won't be able to see the signs. Once you know the games and the signs of what people do, it's almost elementary how stupid it is, because they all do the same kind of game playing. It's all the same games. There's like a handful of games that a narcissist will play. And granted, anyone that's innocent, that doesn't know anything from anything, will always fall for it and they'll get stuck in the web. But if you learn what narcissists do and the tactics they use on everyone, it doesn't matter what kind of narcissist, what kind of person, male, female, age, nationality, it doesn't matter. These narcissists will always use the same tactics, and it's so stupid because once you know them, you can see it from a mile away. And you know to stay away, but you can't go back for the people that don't know better and try to save them, because they're just going to get caught up and they're dumb and they're always going to be manipulated, unfortunately. So all you have to do is stay true to yourself. All you have to do is be true to yourself, to other people, live a good life, be good to others, to animals, take care of yourself, be responsible, have dignity in what you do, back up your claims with actions, and it will eventually come out. And if it doesn't, it's not your business anyway. Like the saying, what people think of you is none of your business. It's true, because you can't control what's going on inside somebody else, but you can see it. You could see the manipulations at play. You could see someone being passively aggressive towards you or aggressively towards you. You could see how they're manipulating everyone around you to turn their back on you. And it will probably work, because there's a lot of people that are not educated on manipulative people, narcissistic people, and just the strategies that they use. But it's so dumb, because once you learn these strategies, it's so clear as day, and it never changes. The details will change, but the game playing and the games that they all use never change. There's so many. So again, is it hurtful? Yeah, it could be hurtful. Is it necessary to prove yourself to these people? Hell no. You just move on. You stay focused on where you need to go. And the more you focus on the positive and where you're going, the less you'll focus on these types of people that are just trying to drag you down, trying to basically kill you. Like they don't want to see you again, because then you're not a mirror to them, their own ugly selves. And then they can go around the world just, with their chest out, thinking like, oh, I'm the best. Meanwhile, they're shit. So just remember that you are allowed to be in whatever room you want to be. Whether or not you choose to be in the room is up to you. But don't let people isolate you or push you out of something just because there's bullies. There's a lot of social bullies, and unfortunately, men and women act differently. Women are more manipulative under the table. Men sometimes they don't even see it. They don't even know what's going on, because there's such nuance to how females fight with each other. Sometimes it's outright, but it's mostly social killing. It's spreading rumors. It's just stuff like that, where it's so subtle that most people won't see it, but you'll feel it. You'll know it exactly what's going on, and you'll be able to call it. But don't rely on other people to back up your claim, because they won't even know what's happening. They might not even want to believe it, and there's no proof. Usually it's very underhanded, under the table kind of actions, and it's annoying. It's kind of like an example of a woman that doesn't like you. The second that she sees you, you walk into a room and she immediately hates you. You're like, what is wrong? But every single day, you give it some time, you give it months go by, years go by, and the same woman gives you the same shit every single time. She either gives you a nasty remark, she looks at you negatively, or she just says passive aggressive things to you when no one else is listening. So there's no proof, right? Or she'll just pretend like you don't exist. She'll never look at you. She'll walk right past you. She'll see right through you. If you're in the same room in a social setting, she'll make every attempt not to acknowledge you in the room, but then she'll walk up to the person right next to you, and start talking to them all like, hi, so there's no proof to show because there's no witness, right? But you are witnessing it. You know what's going on and you know what they're doing. And it's the same bullshit. Narcissists do this thing where they're like, if I can't be you, then I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to copy you, but I'm going to ignore you. I hate you, but I'm going to pretend like you don't exist when you're in the same room with me. Even if you're 5 inches away from me, I'm just going to pretend like I can't see you for some reason because they can't handle it. They don't know how else to handle it. They're immature. They're literally coming from a 2-year-old's mindset, right? So you know what's going on. Other people might not. It's not up to you to prove anything. You just walk away if you want to, but also don't let them bully you into not doing something just because some shit person doesn't like you for whatever reason. You've had a lot of anxiety over this. You've had a lot of sleepless nights just trying to figure this out. Why waste another breath on someone that is just wishing that you don't exist? Like, if you got shot up into space in an Amazon box and you never returned, I don't think this person is going to be like, oh, I miss her. I wonder where she is. She'd probably be like freaking, just happy-go-lucky, skipping around life like you never existed in the first place because they don't want you to exist. So don't dim your light because someone else can't figure out their own light. They can't figure out their own switch in life. Don't do that. You have to exist and you do it on your own terms. And if you want to do something because it makes you happy, then you do it. If you can keep them at bay and not let their ugliness seep into you when you're in the same room with them, power to you and go about your life. But if you're feeling like you are sensitive one day, or you're just not feeling like having to put up walls and fight for your peace of mind because there's always this ugly person trying to get in under your skin, saying backhanded comments to you constantly and blah, 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 maybe it's a good chance not to go into that room for the day, kind of thing, if you can help it. Judgment. The truth comes out. The truth will come out. It never comes out when you want it to. It never comes out when, as fast as you want it to, let's say. Sometimes you're just like, wait, doesn't anyone see how much of a bitch this woman is? And it might take a while. But again, if you just stay the course, if you just stay on your own good behavior, because that is who you are, and you're not putting on a front, you're not pretending to be a good person like some narcissists do. Like, they might hide behind their good deeds, or I'm a good person, I help, and blah blah blah. But if you can read through the lines, there's many types of narcissists, and one is a histrionic narcissist who hides behind doing good deeds, like priests, social workers, teachers, someone like in power that kind of tries to show off to the world, and that they're so good to everyone. Meanwhile, they're evil and they take advantage of their prey. But to the world, everyone thinks that they're good. It doesn't matter if there's letters behind your name, like a doctor, a social worker, a teacher, anyone really, a priest. It doesn't matter. If you know what's going on and you could feel it, and you know for a fact that these people are playing games with you, you just stay your course. Don't get involved any more than you have to. As soon as you put one leg into their web, you're stuck. And then you're stuck fighting, and they're going to keep manipulating. They're going to keep spreading lies because they're just ugly, vicious people that just spit out whatever they can, to make Why do they do that? Because they're jealous. They want to be like you. You're mirroring their ugliness inside. They have to look at themselves when they look at you for some reason. It's nothing that you actually are doing to them personally. It's just you existing. And that sucks, but it happens. And there's a lot of people like that, unfortunately. So it's your decision if you want to play that game. But don't let bullies, because that is a bully, even if it's not them pushing you, shoving you, or cornering you, taking your money, they're still bullies when they're lying about you behind your back, spreading rumors that aren't true and they know it, making everyone gang up against you, so when you walk into a room, everyone looks at you strangely and you have no idea why. You have no idea why, but you can tell that everyone's looking at you with these wide eyes like they just heard a rumor. And you're just like, I know something's up. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. Kind of energy. It's up to you if you want to play in that room or not. But there's plenty of rooms to go to. There's plenty of sandboxes to play in, And you got to remind yourself that not everyone in this world thinks of you the same way, even though you might feel like that in certain rooms. Group mentalities are rough. Like, if one person, if this narcissist gets a hold of their whole little group, you might feel like the whole world is stacked up against you. But remember, not everyone is like this narcissist, and not everyone is a flying monkey, and there are people that look at you in more of a better fashion. So you got to remind yourself who you are, what you stand for, the truth that you live by, and judgment will come out eventually. The truth will come out, and you will find other people that admire you and not hate you for it. So you got to remind yourself that it's okay to break out of the bubble that you're in and kind of explore different people, different groups of people, different places, because you might just be in the stuck energy of feeling like you're isolated by people that just are ugly inside.